Public schools cannot produce good citizens. The first reason is because Americans have strong divergent views regarding values. These are values of religion or politics, both topics that are very hard to teach. There are also divergent views concerning the roles of teachers. For example, should the teachers in schools omit certain controversies from class material, leaving the students not fully informed of certain issues? Public schools cannot produce good citizens because debate over
The article is Faulty Engineering by Chester E. Finn, Jr. Our focus question is, can the public schools produce good citizens? The event is assessing the role of the public school in teaching civics. Concepts of our V diagram are strong divergent views, values, roles of teachers in schools, schools' responsibility, cognitive, behavior, schools are limited, time, outside influences, differing pedagogical values, parents, teachers, multiple perspectives, public schools, and good citizens. 4 principles related to the focus question are: 1. Americans have strong divergent views about the values they want taught to their children, as well as the roles of teachers and schools in transmitting these values. 2. There is a debate over the responsibility of a public school to be primarily cognitive, teaching specific knowledge to children, or to teach behavior and moral and civic virtues. 3. School is limited in its teaching abilities by both time and outside influences on children. 4. Parents and teachers have different pedagogical values. Parents are more likely to teach their own views to children, while teachers present multiple perspectives. The theory derived from the 4 principles is that public schools have trouble defining their role in civic education because each American has their individual opinion of the values and actions that comprise a good citizen. Our 4 principles are supported by the following records from the article. Beyond a narrow core of shared beliefs, honesty, tolerance, obeying the law, Americans hold strong but often divergent views about the values they want their children to acquire, and about the role of teachers in schools in inculcating those values. It may, therefore, be impossible for the publicly operated schools of a society that is so diverse to do a good job of forging citizens. Page 94. Within the field of civics education, a battle rages between those who believe that the school's responsibility is mainly cognitive and those who insist that youngsters' behavior and attitudes are what schools should work on. Finn, page 95. Between birth and age 18, a typical young American spends just 14% of waking hours beneath the school roof. That's barely enough time to cover reading, writing, and arithmetic well, much less to offset the harmful influences that may be at work on children during the other 86% of their lives. Pages 95 through 96. The relatively small space school, occupies in children's lives leaves ample room for other influences to work on youngsters' civic values and behaviors. Page 93. The civic and pedagogical values of many educators differ from those of many parents. They, teachers, are more concerned with imparting multiple perspectives to students. Students should be helped to construct a personal perspective that enables them to explore emerging events and persistent or recurring issues, considering implications for self, family, and the whole national and world community. Page 96. The knowledge claim developed in the article is that public schools are prohibited from teaching a single moral, ethical, or political viewpoint because of the divergent views of Americans. The value claim that Samantha and I have derived from Finn's article is that it is a privilege in the United States to have the freedom of religion and speech. Therefore, these rights should be protected in a public school.